Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about something so exciting, and that is how to save money on Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. This is the way we did it. That was still so fun and special, but we did save quite a bit doing it this way. So let's dive in. Okay, so before we dive into all the details, there is a full disclaimer. Bippity Boppity Boutique has completely changed their prices as of this month. So things are a little different now than when we went, but you still can save doing it the way we did it, but it is still going to be more than what I actually paid. And we have a trip coming up in about 4 weeks that we were going to do the new updated Bippity Boppity Boutique experience. But because I had to move it up last minute versus having it later, I wasn't able to book anything because you can only do Bippity Boppity through a reservation. And they open 60 days before your travel date, not your travel date, before your actual visit date. So if you want a Bippity Boppity Boutique experience, you probably need to wake up early on the 60 days out from your actual visit date and get on that app or the website. I think it's probably a little easier on the website, but you get on the website and book your Bippity Boppity Boutique. Because that way, if you do it early like that, you get to choose whatever time you want. Because when I was looking at changing my trip dates to November instead of January, they had one slot available if I wanted to get all three of my girls in, but it was at like 6:30 or 7 PM, and I'm like, "That's, like, only a 3 hours of them getting to be in the park fully dressed up." I just didn't feel like that was totally worth it, and so we chose not to do it this time. Maybe when we go to Disney World at the end of March, we'll try these new updated experiences, but 2 of my girls have already done it, and my youngest is kinda mid about it. So, we'll see if we actually end up doing it. But let's dive into how much things cost and how we can save money. Now, there are a variety of ranges to the Bippity Boppity Boutique experience. The new way they have it is simplified. They used to have a lot more packages beforehand, and different varying prices. Now they only have 4, and one of them includes the boys. So if you have a boy, they do have a night version that your son can have a whole experience too. It's the cheapest, obviously, but it used to be even cheaper, which felt a little more appropriate. I'm going to be honest. Now it's not as cheap. But anyway, before we get to that, we'll go through all of them because when we did it, we did the basic package, the cheapest. So before I tell you everything of what we did, let's break down these new prices together. That way you're just aware of what comes with it. What are you actually expecting out of Bippity Boppity Boutique? I personally didn't need all the bells and whistles. For my girls, I knew we could probably go with one of the lower packages to save some money and still have an amazing experience. And so but if it's like your daughter's special birthday and they've been waiting for this for so long and you want all the bells and whistles, they have all that available. You just will be paying a much higher price tag. So let's dive in. The first one of these are their new prices. I'm not even going to go over the old because there's no relevance anymore. So, anyway, the first one is called the Fairy Tale package. This one costs $119, and obviously there's plus tax. What do you get with that? First, you get this really cute shirt, and then you get a sash, and then you get a cinch bag, like one of those like drawstring backpacks. And then obviously they get their makeup done and their nails painted and their hair styled however they would like. Now, you can add on whatever you want. And so if you pick a hairstyle and you see like a cute accessory to go with it, you can add and whatever that accessory costs, you can add just that. Or you can just stay within your package limits. And it's like the classic hairstyle, which I can show here. But they also have like a variety. Like my younger niece got a more unicorn style one. So they have a couple of variety of hairstyles that you can choose from. My girls picked the classic high up bun with the cute little tiara and then the sweet little Mickey clip in the back. And I just think it's my personal favorite. Obviously, your daughters can pick whatever they want, but I think this is just such a classic, adorable hairstyle that is just iconic for Bippity Boppity. Our second package, that's available is the enchantment package. This one cost $174.99. So it is a little bit more, but what do you get instead of the first package? Well, it's relatively the same. Besides, they add on a tutu and a headband. So you'll get the shirt with the tutu, but you still get the sash and the cinch bag. You still get your makeup done, your nails done, and your hair done. But then you add a headband of some sort and a tutu. So is it worth that much extra for a headband and a tutu? I would think not. But to each their own. I don't know if a tutu and a headband is worth that much more. However, it does give you a little bit more. So, we'll see. But the third one, which I do love how they made these packages simpler because the other way there were so many options to choose from. I'm sure that was confusing and much of more of a headache for the staff and the functioning of Bibbidi Boppidi. Whereas now you just have 4 packages to choose from and it's way simpler. So the third one is the Kingdom package. Now, this one hops up a lot, and it's mainly because of what comes with it. And it comes up to $229.99 plus tax. Wow. Is that worth an hour experience for your daughter to get a makeover? Honestly, if they love princesses and it's like a special moment, it is so fun to do this. Now, if you're looking to save some money, I think you can choose one of the other packages and have an amazing time, and I'll tell you how. But this is amazing because you do get the princess gown, a crown, a more significant crown than the one that just comes with the hairstyle. You get a wand, you still get the bag and the sash, you get a necklace, or you can do the keepsake photo portrait thing where they give you a print and you can go to this Cinderella carriage room and get like professional Disney photos taken. Which, if you're going that whole way, I would choose that over the necklace. But obviously, your daughter might want the necklace, and they're very cute. But the picture in the carriage would be really special. Okay. And then you also get your makeup and your hair and the nails and the whole shebang. So that is the most elaborate package. And I will say the Disney dresses are very nice. So take that into consideration. I know like my daughters are very particular about I don't think it's texture, but like the fabric that they wear, they don't like to be itchy. It can't be scratchy. And they still want to have like comfortability in it and it not be like tight. And so I was a little nervous even considering a Disney gown. But I went there one time without kids before we booked our first one. And I just went into the store and I just felt the dresses to see kind of what material they were. And they're actually fairly soft and seems like they would be somewhat comfortable, which when you're paying that much more, I would hope these dresses are worth $100. That's just my thought. Now, do you have to do it that way? I don't think so. I think you can still have a magical time and do it the way we did, which I'll explain in a second. But the last package, if you have boys, is called the Adventure Package. This is like $59.99. You get a shirt, you get the mighty sword and the shield, and your hair styled with gel. This one used to be like, I think it was only like around $20 before they changed their price, which feels way more acceptable for what the boys get. They're probably like a 20-30 minute experience because usually the hair and the dress takes the longest. Whereas they're just getting a sword and a shield and a shirt. But I guess if you're getting a shirt, like depending on where you're at, yeah, a shirt could be $20 in and of itself. So I get it, but it's still like, I don't know. Would they pick a different shirt for a cheaper price at a different Disney store? Maybe. So, totally up to you if you want the experience for the boys. I was just a little bummed to see how much more they raised the boy prices, which not like I should really care because I don't have boys, but I still think it's the principle of like that was a big hop. So, gotta love inflation these days, right? Anyway, we still love Disney and obviously we're all still going even though they keep raising the prices on us. Yet I still love it. Anyway, that's a different issue. So those are your 4 packages. Lots of options. I love that they simplified it. And because the other one had like 6 or 7, it was crazy. And so this is way more simple and way more doable. I think sometimes too many options is just overwhelming. So this is a great fix on Disney part, in my opinion. Don't like how much they raised each of the prices. Like the first package that we picked with our girls was only 99.99. So they raised it about 20 bucks. So I guess that's not crazy. But still, when I have 3 daughters, 20 extra bucks for each kid, that adds up, you know? It's 60 bucks right there. Okay, so here's what we did to save some money, and we still had a very magical time together, I would say. I'll show you some videos. I would say one of the best parts of Bibbidi Bobbidi is when they're actually out of the salon and walking around the whole park, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they look adorable." Because we did it with my nieces, and they're all a similar age, and so it looked like these 2 little triplet princess, and they all chose their own princess, and they just looked adorable, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Oh my gosh, look at their dresses. Oh my gosh, look at their hair. They must have just done Bibbidi Bobbidi." And people were eating it up. They were like, "This is the most adorable thing ever." And I mean, I'm a little biased, but they were the most adorable thing ever. And like the amount of attention we got all day long, my niece literally said at one point, "I feel like a real princess here." That is the whole point of Bibbidi Bobbidi, is to give them a princess experience that makes them feel so special. And that is what it did. And we picked the cheapest one. And yet they still had a beautiful dress on. And no one knew. I mean, maybe some people knew, but it didn't take away from the attention and the specialness that it wasn't the Disneyland dress. And honestly, you can find a more specific style of dress that your kids like. For example, let me get my stuff here. Welcome to my dress up closet. Okay. So obviously, I think Amazon has great princess dresses. And I'll try my best to find the links to all of these. Some we've bought later than others. So I'll put them in the caption below and you can find it in there. But my daughter really wanted Rapunzel, as you can see in her Bibbidi Bobbidi experience videos. But she didn't want, you know how Rapunzel's dress is a little more flat than the other princesses? She wanted one to be a little more poofy. Well, Amazon gives you a lot of varieties, but still communicates, who is this? It's Rapunzel. It has this cute little tutu poofiness, and this is so soft. And she's probably the most particular on her materials. And then it gave her a little bit of arms, but we went and it was a warmer day, so it wasn't like super hot on her. She could wear it all day. And I actually love this one so much. I feel like it's adorable. And she looked stunning in it. And so all of these princess dresses were probably under $40. That's $60 savings. Actually, probably more than what you would get at Disneyland. And so like some of these were, I think were even $27, like so affordable. And yet my girls walked around Disneyland all day long, feeling just as much of a princess as they would in a Disneyland dress. Because to kids, they don't quite know the difference. And I even had people go, "Where did you get that dress?" My daughter would have preferred that dress. I'm like, "Oh, we bought it on Amazon and then did Bibbidi Bobbidi." Like, I didn't even know I could do that. So, word of advice, you can. Okay. So there's Rapunzel. This was actually for my daughter's Cinderella birthday party, and she loved it. It's way comfortable. I think one of them might try to wear it if we do Bibbidi Bobbidi again because someone else wanted to be Cinderella. So that'd be super fun. This is Ariel's dress. You know how like everyone always wears the tail? But Ariel's got like that pink dress and then the turquoise dress. And this one comes with the like long sleeve netted things and you just put it on your finger and like all the way up. So my daughter wore this we did like a princess birthday party with when Ariel comes. Those are super fun. They're definitely not the same kind of quality princess as Disneyland. You can tell Disneyland has a lot of effort going into the people that they play who play characters. But anyway, so we still did this for one of the parties, and my daughter said if she did Bibbidi Bobbidi, she would probably do this again. It's just so cute, and I loved it so much. But anyway, when my other daughter, she wanted to be Belle. And honestly, I kind of loved this Belle version. It wasn't like super poofy, which my daughter didn't want super poofy, and it was so comfortable. She loved this arm. And let's be real, everyone knows who this dress is supposed to be. And it's Belle. And I think it was like 27 or $30. It was amazing. And she looked adorable. And yeah, I think it was such a better deal than like, look at this, the ruching on the bottom. I'm like, that looks like Belle's dress, you know? Anywho, those are just my favorites that I had. Amazon has great deals and amazing things where if your kids are more particular, kind of like mine, this is a great option for you so that you don't have to pay the over $100 more package just to get a dress that your kids may never wear again, depending on their preference at home. So that was the biggest way we saved money is buying our own dress. If you have the money and you want to buy the actual Disney gown, they have amazing gowns. They're stunning. But for an average mom like me who doesn't have tons of extra money and is already costing her family a lot to get to Disneyland, but their daughters still want that princess style experience, Amazon was a great option and my girls didn't feel any less special being in an Amazon dress versus a Disney dress. That is the number one way to save money is buying your own dress. So is it worth it picking the cheapest package? 100%. As you can see, they still get the wow moment of turn around and do bippity boppity boo and the curtains open and then the mirror does the special effects and it means they're a true princess and it's so special and they have like their hair looked stunning. These women are amazing at doing it and they can do it pretty fast. I was honestly shocked. Even my daughter who has such curly hair, ringlet style, I was like, are they going to be able to like slick this puppy back? Whatever they do, it worked. Like you would have never known her hair was crazy curly and she looked amazing. I was very impressed with these ladies. And they were sweet and they made our girls feel so special. Yeah, I loved it. It was an amazing experience and you still get that whole salon moment even with the cheapest package, which I think is probably the most special. Now these new packages, you actually I think you get visited by the fairy godmother. I'm not sure how that will all work out in these new packages. I don't know if she is just walking around the salon and eventually you'll get to meet her when it's your turn, or I don't know which part she shows up in. And so something to consider. That's a fun thing to be able to meet the fairy godmother, which wasn't a part of our experience when we went. Now, last but not least, please, please, a reminder again book a reservation. You don't want to miss out. You need to be ahead. If you want the exact time that you want, please book early. I woke up 60 days before our visit date. I got up early because I'm on West Coast, so I didn't have to get up that early because I'm on the actual time zone where it opened. Whereas if I was booking for Disney World, I'd have to get up very early. But I live on the West Coast, so it was not too early for me. I think they open at like 6 a.m. And so actually, it might be 7. I'm not sure. I'll put on the screen below when it actually opens. But get up early, book your reservations because what we did is we are obviously a huge rope drop family and my girls wanted to ride Tiana. So I was like, well, let's do the water ride before we go and get all dolled up. And so we did all of rope drop, we did Tiana's ride, and then we went to Bibbidi Bobbidi around like 10 something in the morning. That way we could have some downtime. We went and ate lunch. And then they had the majority of the day walking around as beautiful princesses, and they felt so special and it was amazing. So, where do you find this reservation thing? I loved going on the Disneyland website. I think you could probably book it on the app too, but it just feels a little more convenient. So, I'll show you here on the screen. You're going to go to disneyland.com.go, I believe. At the top left screen, you'll see the 3 lines. Click that, and you'll go down to shop and then you can click on all the Disneyland shops. And then I just zoom in on this map like I am here. I find Bibbidi Bobbidi, which is right behind the castle. Click on that. And then you would press this little tab that says check availability. And from there, it'll take you through the whole process of how you click a certain date, you see what's available, and then you book. You probably have to put in a credit card to reserve your spot. They won't charge you yet until you actually get there. But this is just so if you don't show, they will charge you something. Now, if you have a kid that's a little hesitant, I had one. My youngest was not super convinced. So I booked her a reservation because I thought all of her sisters are doing it and her 2 cousins. She's going to want in and not want to be left out. Well, my youngest definitely marches to the beat of her own drum. She does not get swayed by peer pressure, apparently, which love that about her. However, I was like, okay, well, do you want to do this? And she was like, no, she hates people touching her hair. She didn't really want to wear a dress. So she's like, no, I don't want to do it. And she changed her mind in the moment. And they were actually very kind to just remove her from the reservation and didn't charge us a no-show because they told me kids change their mind all the time and get scared. And so, yeah, it wasn't a big deal. They were very kind and gracious to me just to remove her off of the reservation and didn't charge me. But if you don't show at all, I do believe there is a charge for a no-show. So that's why you have to put a credit card on file. But I highly recommend Bibbidi Bobbidi. I think it's worth buying your own dress and picking the cheapest package. My kids had an amazing time. It did not feel less than, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. My girls loved the shirt and wear it regularly. Actually, let me go get that shirt. Okay, I'm back. So here's what they get. I was trying to find the makeup thing that you also get with it. But I think my girls have already used all the makeup, so I don't think it's here anymore unless they hid it from me. But you get this cute little sash that they wear. Honestly, I didn't think my kids would really want to wear this very much, but they actually wore it all day. So super cute. It says Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and they tie it down at the bottom depending on, it's just like a little hair tie. So it can be adjusted depending on their size. Super cute. They loved that. They get this shirt that they do wear regularly. Best day ever with the little crown and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. You get to pick your size. My girls love this shirt and wear it so much. I will say it's like a bit of a longer shirt, so be aware of that when you pick your size. Like this is a medium and it still has much room to grow, and my girls are probably more in the large size on normal clothes. So I wouldn't say it runs bigger in width, but in length it does. And then this is the little cinch bag, which my girls were obsessed with. And literally, I was shocked, I actually wore it all day. Oh, and something else they get to take is they get like a little face gem. Honestly, it didn't say that in the new package that they would get these, but these were really fun. And they're like little stickers that you can put on their face. And whatever you don't pick for the day, you get to take, which is also fun. And they did give the girls the combs and brushes that they use. I'm probably assuming that's for sanitary reasons and they can't keep them. But honestly, it's a good brush to slick back the hair. So you do get a good amount. I would say, like, if you think about that shirt, this could be anywhere from $15 to $20 worth of merch at Disney. The sash and the bag, the face gems, you get the nail polish and the makeup that they use on you. So if you do some girl math, it's probably relatively within the price range of all those products. So take that into consideration. I do think it's worth it. And I think your daughters will have the best time, and it will be so special for you to watch them feel like a full blown princess. And that is the goal of Bibbidi Bobbidi. And they do an amazing job. So I highly recommend it at least once for your daughters. And I think maybe in the 5 to 9 range is really special. So I hope this video helps you and gives you ideas of how you can save money and maybe look into the Amazon option of a princess gown versus spending the full blown at Disney. But if it's a super special day and you want the amazing princess gown from Disney, do it. Live once. But if you're on a budget and you need to save, that is probably the best way to save money on Bibbidi Bobbidi, but your kids will still have an amazing time. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all of you being here. And leave in the comments below if you've already done Bibbidi Bobbidi or you're planning on doing it. I would love to connect more with you guys and have more conversations. So if you made it to the end of this video, I love you so much. Thank you. And I hope this was really helpful. And we'll see you next time.